Action Packed has been brought to you in association with the Stone Super League, Sainsbury's, British Sky Broadcasting, and features action from Sky Sports Video, Battle for the Super League, and a preview of the Stone Super League 1997 season.
See the action, hear the action, feel the action.
It's rough, it's tough, and it's furious.
Now you can get to the heart of the action with Sky Sports Videos, a new series of state-of-the-art programs produced exclusively for video. Featuring Sky Sports' groundbreaking technology across a wide range of exciting sports.
It's another Test match hat-trick.
Great sporting moments presented in a way that sets a new standard for sports videos. Using Sky's acclaimed technology will get you so close to the action you can feel it, and you can hear it. And with up to 20 cameras at individual events, you can see it like never before.
Fourth there. Fowler who takes it, and he's wrong for his Schmeichel.
Experience the Sky difference on video. Sports videos like you've never seen them before. Super League's first summer of football saw a season of substantial change, and it wasn't just a change to warm weather. For the first time in 7 years, Rugby League saluted new champions. St Helens were the team of 1996, Super League champions, Challenge Cup winners, and but for an awesome display by arch rivals Wigan in the very last match of the season, they would have carried off the Grand Slam. And, just as importantly, Super League's inaugural season was one to savour, fast, hard and skillful. And it all began on a balmy night in Paris, when PSG made Super League history.
Now will they be caught in possession again? It's a lovely ball inside. There's Kasala, some strength, he's in! Oh, that's Shamaran, the captain! They have come up off the canvas and they have come up with the goods, Paris Saint-Germain. Why, there could be problems. He drops it! Now then, here's a chance. This is a great chance. It's Cervello, the winger. Cervello all the way, and he's got the try! And this is Jacques Pesch. He has support. The support is there, and Pesch is getting it again. And the ball out wide once more to Cervello. And it's a dream.
The first incisive clash of the season came on April the 5th, when the Saints showed their mettle in recovering from a 10-0 reverse against the might of Wigan to record a magnificent 41-26 victory.
This, though, is a great opportunity for McVeigh. Gets the pass out wide. Try! Cunningham gets the pass away. Cunningham in support. Will score! Kieran Cunningham scores. Pickabans bounces off one and gets the try. And this is what it's all about. As Cunningham sidesteps past Radlinski. It's going to be a magnificent try. It is for Danny Arnold, who gets the hat-trick. Golding drop goal. Extra point. Radlinski missed it. A dab through by Martin. It's going to be a dream for Martin. And it is a dream for Martin. Golding gets the pass away to Northey. Northey wins the match for St Helens. That's it. The Saints are won. They are home and hosed. It has been one almighty effort.
During the month of May, St Helens started to produce the form that would eventually lead them to the championship. A victory against the London Broncos not only showed how good the Saints were, but that London had emerged as a true force in Super League.
Duncan McRae gets the ball to Barwick, the fullback who's chimed in. He slipped through Newlove, and was that a try? The corner flag went down, the referee checks, and then he gives the try to the Broncos. Booth, Prescott gives it to Newlove. He brushes away from Tollett. He goes for the gap himself. He steps on the gas, cuts inside, and scores a quite magnificent try. Duncan McRae, that's an interesting kick. Oh, and he's got the try. Roskill, Scott Roskill, read it perfectly.
Well, his fourth clean break is made.
Barwick has dipped it to the corner. It's a race for Minto. Minto! Oh, now then, there's a big decision. There is a big decision for touch judge and referee, and the referee wisely hands it on to the screen. And he is now watching these pictures with us. Is this a try or not? Oh,
yep.
Yes, it is.
Quite clear.
But the Broncos have seen that as you have. What's the decision? Try given. They keep the movement going. They're playing very well. They're high on confidence. Barwick's through one, and he gets the try. Prescott missed the tackle, and Barwick with his second touchdown of the match.
The Broncos down to 12 men. Darren Shaw is down injured, way back near the halfway line.
As Joint goes on one of the typical runs of his, they scramble across to keep him down. That's how close the Saints are. Goulding, oh, beautiful ball! And that's booed. Hammond comes back this way, keeps the movement going. McVie over the top to Gibbs. It opens up for Gibbs. Gibbs with a try. Matautia support from Martin. Martin with the try. Bobby Goulding will kick this goal, and if he does, he will give the Saints the lead for the first time. And we've got about 10 minutes left for play, and Saints have the lead. What a fight back. 3 tries in 13 minutes.
Against Warrington, St Helens again had to show their battling qualities with a 24-25 victory.
Coolest man on Wilderspool is Sean McRae. 24-19, 5 points the difference. A converted try, and Saints will win. And Warrington now down to 12 men for the last 7 minutes. The two captains tangling over there. Martin, Chris Joint. 5 minutes to go. 5 points the difference. Pick Evans. McVie is through again. McVie has got Swan. He has Pick Evans. And Pick Evans will score for Saints. He gets the extras. He puts the ball over the top of the roof. And St Helens now have a 1-point lead.
Next came the match that possibly decided the outcome of the championship, as the Broncos travelled to Wigan and got a hard-fought 18-all draw, with Terry Mattison's superb final kick being cheered as loudly in St Helens as it was in London.
And Mattison, look at the eyes. The eyes tell you just how important this kick is. It's a difficult one, way out on the touchline. He has a very awkward angle, and he's a front-end, toe-end kicker. But Terry Mattison with heaps of experience. Now then, this is the biggest kick of the season. He's landed it! The scores are level! Unbelievable at Central Park! The Broncos...
Away from the title chase in June, the London Broncos met with the Bradford Bulls, and the world of Stone's Super League suddenly started to see the credentials of Bullmania, as the Yorkshiremen embodied the spirit of Super League to the point where their attendances were doubled.
John Scales is after this, and John Scales gets it, and that is quite breathtaking from Scales. Doniger. The call was from Robbie Paul, and he's through again, and he takes on Bradford, and he beats him brilliantly. Oh, this kid is sensational. Robbie Paul, magnificent try.
So if he regains it, that's fair play. Great run down for Bradley.
Bradley to Dwyer, and Dwyer is in. Gill won't catch him. And Bernard Dwyer gets another for Bradford Bulls. Gets the pass back to Ray. They keep the movement going to Borden. Borden to Denver. It is the moment at last. Leo Denver gets the try.
In July, Bradford faced their 2 biggest tests, St Helens and Wigan. And in the first match against the Saints, the Bulls really rattled the league leaders, with a superb encounter ending with an emphatic 50-22 victory for the Bulls.
The St Helens didn't want to come. Nicol, he gets a try. Sonny Nicol against his former club too. Lowe's a lovely delay pass to Callan. Callan looks inside, the support's there from Bradley. Bradley to Tamani. Oh, that's another try. There's space here for Loughlin. He's got support either side. Doniger cuts inside Prescott and scores another. Loughlin out wide, drags them back on the inside. There's another coming here for Stuart Spruce. Oh, Stuart Spruce under the sticks. McAtee with the tackle. Here's Loughlin again. He stole the dummy. Has he got the try? No, the referee holds the hand up for the last tackle. Out wide to Scales. He gets the try. This is Tomlinson. Ball back on the inside. Great chances, great chances, great try. And it's Simon Knox. And Bradley is up the middle with a ton of support. Bradley puts on the gas. He's going to win the race to the corner. He finishes with a flurry.
Stunning 2012 victory.
Andy Farrell makes the break. Russell Smith has taken a tumble. It's Henry Paul. It's Henry Paul who gets the try and dances with delight. Ellison felt that.
That's a high swinging arm. He's going.
Doniger goes.
What a pace this game is.
Lowe's, McDermott. Door is closed. It's the last tackle here for Bradford. James Lowe's. Out wide it goes. McNamara. Medley. It would be a famous victory for Bradford if they could win this. They've got a man here in Robbie Paul who could. Supported by Lachlan. Supported by Dwyer. Radlinski stood his ground and put in a copybook tackle. McDermott. Paul. Spruce out the back door, Bradley, Dwyer, Lachlan. Lachlan gives it out wide, it's with Bernard Dwyer. Dwyer for the line, will get the try! Paul Lachlan, who as a former St Helens player has had many battles with this Wigan side over the years. Nicol, another in that category. He gets away from Twiggamala, gets the ball out to Calland, and Calland will keep the legs going. Radlinski and Ellison deny him.
They must use a kick, surely.
Last tackle. It's 6 to go. It's going to be 6 to go. Robbie Paul, Lachlan over the top. Scales, and Scales touches down. Priceless try for Bradford. 6 to go for the Bulls. Robbie Paul into the wall that is Radlinski and Robinson. Now then, this is a big chance for Bradford. Wigan now being tested in defence. Lowe's to McNamara to Scales. I think he's got it. I think he's got the try. That's the try for Scales. Oh, what a comeback by Bradford. What a night at Odsal.
At the top of the table, St Helens faced 4 away games in a run that would take them to the brink of the title. And none was harder than the visit to South London, as a last-minute try by Apollo Perolini was adjudged to have touched by the new video judge.
Let's not forget, the Broncos want the points for the Premiership playoffs. St Helens want the points for the Super League crown. The stakes today could not be higher.
Well, we said they hadn't got to close up the shop. They've got to keep going and get
Gill! Gill on the break! Great run from Gill. Support there from Tollett. Support also from Rosalind. 6 minutes to go. Didn't really play that. Pickavance Goulding. Up the middle they go again with McVie. Broncos desperately trying to marshal the defence. Hammond gets the pass out. Perolini! Does he get the try? Has he got it down? Another decision for the video ref. Stuart Cummings hands it on again. And once more, the video referee has perhaps the destiny of the title in his hands.
Perolini went for it. You can see the fullback gets over the top. Does he hold him? Does he put it down? But does he have downward pressure?
Here comes the decision. Oh, try! And St Helens and Sean McRae have won a famous victory, but on the nod of the video referee.
In August, Martin Offiah caused a stir by moving from Wigan to London, and it wasn't long before the Broncos were feeling his mark.
Although surrounded by new faces, Offiah supports the man with the ball, and he takes the final pass from Peter Gill. All too easy. The next one did take some scoring, Broncos moving the ball across the line, And how did Afire pick that pass up? But he did, and then squeezed in the corner.
Entering the last weekend of the season, Wigan knew they had to win and then hope that Warrington would do them a favour against the rampant St Helens. But despite a Super League record victory of 78-4, Wigan still found themselves in the hands of the gods.
This now is Henry Paul. Henry Paul steps inside Penrice as though he wasn't there. And at last Wigan get off the mark. Cassidy dummy half. Edwards, little chip over the top looking for Henry Paul. It stands up nicely for him. He beats Penrice. It's a hat-trick for Paul. Quick tap penalty. Barrow, hat-trick Barrow. Barrow to Edwards. Edwards gets another. And Wigan are roasting them here. Well, 2.5 minutes of the Super League season for Wigan to go. Premiership then, of course, and Robinson is off, and Robinson's going to score right under the posts, and Twiggamala adds the extra 2, and so Wigan equal their own point scoring record in the Super League, 78-4.
The Saints, on the other hand, were only 80 minutes away from their first title for 21 years.
That's the pattern there, the run from dummy half from Kieran Cunningham, Saints are away.
Hayes with the kick in field. It bounces kindly. Martin! A dream start! St Helens are really on the march here with joint out wide. Sullivan! Sullivan! Try! With Martin, with Newlove. Newlove! Try! This is Alan Hunt. Alan Hunt gets over for another. The ball bounces in front of Martin. It bounces in front of Newlove. Here's another try. Alex Murphy was in the last team that won the double in 1966, the Warrington football manager. What sort of feelings he must have as he watches Goulding scamper in for another. It's all over. St Helens are the champions for 1996. They ended the centenary year in 4th place. They have come back during the first summer of Super League to claim the inaugural championship.
And out they come, the champions of 1996, led by their captain, the effervescent Bobby Goulding, who has waited and waited for this moment. The champions of 96.
Of the summer.
2 metres short. McNamara out wide. Bradley will get the try. Graham Bradley's got the try for Bradford. That's how close Bradford are. Lowe's to Medley. Medley trying to go over in the corner again. Smothering defence from Terry O'Connor and Simon Horton. To Marnie. To Marnie to Tomlinson. Tomlinson dribbling it through. Tomlinson. And Tomlinson gets the touchdown. Tomlinson scores the try.
What a finish to this game.
How did Robinson hang on to that? Paul into the corner! It's a try! Edwards has got 4! Farrell brilliantly off the floor. Support from Ellison. This will be Old Trafford for Wigan. Ellison will get the score. And Wigan are on the way to the Premiership final.
With Wigan safely through, it was left to St Helens to get past the Broncos to attempt the Grand Slam. And as in previous encounters between these two, the Broncos weren't just making up the numbers.
St Helens launch again with Sullivan. Pace from Anthony Sullivan. Sullivan against 2. Sullivan. Brilliant try. Delivered out wide. It comes here to Graham Strutton. He tries to step inside Hayes and has. Graham Strutton gets his second. A last hurrah from the London Broncos. Mestrov running it straight at Cunningham and Fogarty. There's the siren. The Saints are at Old Trafford. Sean McRae's remarkable run at Knowsley Road continues.
So Super League got its dream final as the two top guns, St Helens and Wigan, were set to battle it out at Old Trafford in an epic that showed Wigan are still a force in the Super League.
Edwards hands it on to Farrell. Farrell short ball to Horton. Horton through a gap. Prescott's after him. Oh, a great try for Simon Horton. Henry Paul, it might be now. Henry Paul on a run to the line. Henry Paul touches down. And is that the moment that Wigan retain the Premiership? This, meanwhile, is Ellison, who's on the verge of a hat-trick. Murdoch's there in support, and Murdoch only just on. Gets the try, and he's delighted. The last action, and you can see what it means to Andy Farrell and Wigan. Danny Ellison with the hat-trick. Gary Connolly with a great performance. The celebrations start for Wigan.
And Andy Farrell lifts the silver trophy, and Wigan are the 1996 Premiership winners.
Talk of the Sheffield Eagles moving to Association Football, Sheffield United and Bramall Lane have proved unfounded, as the South Yorkshire club continue to keep the Don Valley Stadium as their permanent home. On the playing front, the club are taking a complete change of direction after losing 3 quality players to the Leeds Rhinos. These birds of prey must be delighted to be picking up Nick Pinney, Martin Wood and Kiwi Wetu Taiwi. All in all, the Eagles will be aiming to fly high in the 1997 Super League season. The name Paris Saint-Germain conjures up what is great about European soccer. Now the name represents what is the future of European Super League, a well-supported team in a capital city that was previously not a rugby league city, and a team that's aiming to be up amongst the best of what British and Australian Super League can offer. This season, new coach Peter Mulholland has brought in a host of non-French players, with only last season's captain Pierre Chameron, Fabien de Vecchi and Pascal Beaumarty, last season's leading try scorer with 10 tries, the only Frenchman. The majority of the squad are Australian, with last season's Broncos man David O'Donnell coming across the channel. PSG are a year wiser, and that should show in this season's Super League. The Bradford Bulls proved to be the epitome of what Super League is all about. Doubled attendances, a superb family policy and superb rugby on the park. The 1997 season will be seen as the perfect opportunity to build on last year's 3rd position and qualification to the playoffs. And with a new coach in the guise of Matthew Elliott and the main man pulling the strings on the park, the magnificent Robbie Paul, the men from West Yorkshire will be looking to turn the Super League into a 3-horse race. All in all, the phenomenon that has become Bull Mania should feature strongly in the say as to where the Stone Super League Championship will end up in 1997. Wigan man Andy Goodway, and he's used his cash wisely by bringing in the likes of Brett Goldspink, Luke Goodman, ex-Workington and Leeds man Vince Farset, Martin Crompton, Francis Maloney and Welsh international Paul Aitchison. All in all, many people expect the Bears to struggle, but write them off lightly, and you'll do so at your peril. The London Broncos have truly brought quality rugby league to the south of England. The 1997 season will see the structure of the club go from strength to strength. A move of base to Harlequins' The Stoop has been overshadowed by the backing of entrepreneur Richard Branson. On the playing front, the addition of Martin Offiah, one of the all-time great rugby players, should ensure that the Londoners continue to take the Broncos to their hearts. Players in over the close season are few, the most notable being standoff Tulsin Tollett. But with successful forwards Tony Mestroff and Peter Gill bearing down on other sides, the Broncos can only build on the tremendous success of the 1996 Stone Super League season. Promoted new boys, the Salford Reds, are used to being at the top of their table. Now in with the big boys, coach Andy Gregory won't be afraid of vertigo if all goes well in the 1997 Stone Super League season. The basis of Gregory's team will clearly be immense strength in the pack, as he's used his resources shrewdly to bring in Scott Naylor and Steve Blackley, formerly of Wigan. New winger Fatusini, a fast-running, powerful Western Samoan international, will also add to the squad. The Willows should be a home where points are won this season, with anything taken away a real bonus. Despite the fact that they're the new boys, the Stone Super League shouldn't treat the Salford Reds with anything but respect. The Halifax Blue Sox will be hoping that the 1997 Super League season will start in a more impressive manner than 96. Last season saw the Sox get 1 point from the first 7 matches, but relegation was staved off with a second half season turnaround that saw them finish 6th. Once again, Halifax, like all the Super Leaguers, have added to the calibre of their playing staff by close season purchases. Goal-kicking Martin Pearson from Featherstone Rovers and Kelvin Sherratt from Wigan are only 2 of many new men who should see the Blue Sox take on the 1997 Super League with the optimism that saw them charge at the end of the 96 season. Go Blue Sox! What a season 1996 turned out to be for the Warrington Wolves. 5th place in the Super League was helped by some late battling performances. The 1997 Stone Super League season should hold more than just a glimpse of glory for the Wolves. Warrington possessed one of the best young forwards in the world in the shape of Paul Sculthorpe. To add to the 1997 squad, the Wolves have signed Wigan's Dermot Martin and a host of South Sea players, including New Zealand international Tony Tatupo from the Auckland Warriors. Existing Wolverines, Coe Love, Richard Hanari and Matiki Mafi will ensure that Warrington will be snarling at the heels of Super League's supposed big boys. Wigan, the giants of rugby league in the last 10 years, can look to many moments from last year where the championship slipped away. But the men from Central Park still finished with silverware in the cupboard. Rumours of turmoil, with a possible move to Bolton, or a joint stadium with local football side Athletic, have been added to by the loss of Twickenham Marler to Newcastle Rugby Union Club for a world record transfer fee. Foolish, as the likes of Captain Edwards will be making sure that the name of Wigan still strikes fear into opponents in the 1997 Stone Super League. For the 1997 season, St Helens must be looked upon as favourites for the championship. Having already seen off Wigan in the Challenge Cup, the Saints will be brimming with confidence come the big Stone Super League kick-off. With such a tight unit, it's not surprising that the Saints have added only one new face to the squad, that of Julian O'Neill. The Saints dominated 1996 and will fully expect to aim for the top in 97. So get down to Knowsley Road and see the Saints set the world of Stone Super League 1997 well and truly alight with their blistering pace.
The Stone Super League, Sainsbury's and British Sky Broadcasting wish you an enjoyable Stone Super League 1997.